Hey folks, it's Dave Wood. What I wanted to do is take a handful of minutes with you and teach you how to make a lot of money with us during our affiliate contest between now and our next event, which is January 17th. I believe, don't quote me on that though, just look at the actual date that's on your ticket your ticket purchase, because I never write down dates and never know when things are happening. It's on the website, it'll be on this this post, and it'll be in lots of other places as well. Make sure that you know the actual date for the event. But I wanted to make a video teaching you how to make a lot of money from our event. I also wanted to make a bonus video for you guys. I did a live stream the other day. We had the worst internet ever, and I wanted to teach you how you can go from where you're at to $100,000 a month in earnings as an affiliate of Empower Network. Now, as a disclaimer before I continue this video, we always do average income earning disclosures anytime we're talking about money. The reason we do is because I want you to realize that what I'm going to talk about takes a lot of work and a lot of effort and energy. Not everybody is going to make a ton of money doing this. Not everybody's going to put in the effort that I'm going to talk about here. Not everybody's going to do what it takes. Okay, so just as a fair disclaimer, there is a full income disclosure that reports average earnings somewhere down there, and you can look at that at any time in the video. Now let me show you the formula, and let me show you why you want to participate in the affiliate contest. Now, first of all, as a bonus, let me teach you guys how to build a large, profitable, successful, thriving, ridiculously powerful organization that pays you lots and lots of money. What you want to do is you want to build from, check this out, event to event. And you want to build from contest to contest. Okay? Now, we run contests in Empower Network all the time. The reason we do it is because if you focus on the contests, you don't need to focus on anything else. If you focus on the contest and if you focus on building to the events. And I'm going to explain why this is as we go through this video. There's a lot of additional information about the psychology of the way that we constructed this at Empower Network that you can use in another organization if you're building another network marketing team in our products. But for now in Empower, what I want to do is I want to teach you how to use this information to make tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of money. And I want to tell you how to win the contest, and I want to tell you why you want to win the contest. So first of all, the number one reason why you want to win the contest is, of course, the cash prize for the number one spot in the contest is $30,000 cash given to you on stage. You do have to actually attend the event to get the cash prize if you win, and you don't attend. We're going to give the prize to the next closest winner. It's just the way that we construct our contests is it's to make sure that people are incentivized to actually go to our event to collect the prizes. There's a big social proof element that goes into that, but we want you to come and we want to actually give you $30,000 cash on stage. $30,000, folks, is the number one reason why you want to win the competition. I'm telling you, there ain't nothing like just sitting there staring at a big old pile of 30 G's, especially if you're like me and made $30,000 a year before you got involved starting marketing on the internet. So first prize is going to be $30,000. Second prize is going to be $10,000. There's a huge gap this time between the two. Reason why there's a big gap is, of course, because we want you to focus on hitting the number one prize. Now, regardless of where you are, if you just got started yesterday on our events next week, you can win something in this competition. We're going to talk about that as well in this video, and we're going to talk about it as well on this page. And so if you think, Dave, there's 60,000 people, I can't possibly win the number one spot, it's perfectly okay with me if you don't win the number one spot. I want you to focus on winning something that's on the page right now. It's super easy to at least win one thing. Okay, so first of all, why should you win? Well, there's an opportunity that you have to make your life incredibly easier. I did a call on November the 5th, which of course is Guy Fawkes Day, and we love wearing those Guy Fawkes masks and things at our events. Some of you guys have seen that. If you go to empowerpix.com, you can see a sea of 3,000 faces wearing, the V for Vendetta mask from that movie. Well, I did a call on November the 5th that talked about the psychology of why you want to capitalize on unique moments in time when you have an ability to get a lot of exposure. When I first got on the internet, I talked to a friend of mine. His name's Mark Yarnell. Mark wrote a book called Your First Year in Network Marketing. Of course, we're not really a traditional network marketing company, but we are a direct sales company. We are an affiliate company, and a lot of the concepts, they apply equally in all areas. What Mark told me on the phone, though, when I talked to him on the phone, was significant and powerful, and here's what he told me. He said, Dave, you want to know the real secret to building a business? And I said, sure, shoot, man, because I was making a lot of money at the time. He had made a lot more than I had ever made at the time. And I said, what's the secret? He said, Dave, if there's a secret, and there's only one secret, but if there's a secret, this is it. The secret is, when everybody's talking about you, everything in business is easy. When everybody's talking about you, everything in this business is easy. When everyone's talking about you, Everything in this business is easy. When everybody's talking about you, everything is easy. That's the secret. If there is a secret, that's it. All right. Now, how do you get everybody talking about you? Well, you've got to prove yourself. Okay. And there exist unique periods of time when you have the opportunity to get a virtually unlimited amount of exposure by exerting the right kind of effort. When I first got started in my business, it was 2009. I had nothing. I lived in a van. I had no advertising budget. I didn't actually even know how to advertise. All I knew how to do was do home meetings and weekly meetings and traditional network marketing and pick up the phone and close people and get people in. I didn't know how to do video marketing. I didn't know how to do blogging. I didn't know nothing. But there was a contest that launched right after I got started on the internet. There was a contest where I had the opportunity to compete against about 10,000 people. Now, granted, 10,000 is a little bit less than the 60,000 that we have at the time of making this video, but I had the opportunity to win against 10,000 people, and I knew that I needed to win. And I knew one thing when I got involved in that contest. It was about a month and a half after I got involved. There was people with bigger advertising budgets than me. There's people that knew more than me. There's people that closed better on the phone than me. There's people at the time that made more powerful and compelling video presentations than me. But I'll tell you one thing that I knew is there ain't nobody in that 10,000 people that could outwork me if I just put my nose to the grinder and just went after it. Now, at the time, this competition was to win a BMW. Now, I know there's companies out there that give away BMWs like they're nothing. That's why one of the reasons why we're giving away cash. But the reality is it wasn't the BMW that I wanted. The BMW was just, it was secondary. What I wanted was the exposure of being the number one. So you know what I did? Well, for 3 months straight, for 90 days, I worked like you wouldn't even believe. I made up for in work what I lacked in money, knowledge, and experience. I made up for in work what I lacked in exposure. I made up for in work what I lacked in my abilities. It paid off. I won the BMW. But, I didn't win the BMW because I took cash. Just to be fair, they said, we'll give you a BMW for a lease for 2 years, or we'll give you $18,000. So what I did is, of course, I said, well, I don't really want the car. Can I just take the $18,000? I live in Costa Rica in the jungle. I drive an SUV that I paid for. Can I just get the cash? So I got the cash for this prize here. Here's what I really got, though. Is I got to be the number one in an organization of 10,000. All of a sudden, everybody in that whole organization wanted to know what I was doing. All of a sudden, everybody wanted to make a video with me. All of a sudden, my picture was plastered in Facebook walls all over the internet. People were putting videos of me and putting them on their YouTube channels and saying, Dave Wood, how'd you win the contest? And people were calling me for joint ventures, and people were, picking up the phone and saying, David, if I join your organization, can you teach me what you're doing? All of a sudden, people were popping on my webinars just to check me out. And when they popped on my webinars, they would buy something. And all of a sudden, what used to take a full-time effort all through the day, maybe 10 hours of work, I could do in about 30 minutes because I had such a greater level of exposure. And what happens is you can build a business. I actually explain exactly how to do this. If you go through a product called the Costa Rica Mastermind Intensive, we have a video in there that will blow your mind. It's the $500 product that we have here at Empower Network. A lot of you guys have it. It'll explain how to do it in any business. It's a tremendously valuable piece of education. I teach you how to go from story to story and exposure level to exposure level, and I teach you how to build that in sequence. And that's what I did, is I used that story to propel my business to a new level. Now, ever since that time when I had the opportunity to participate in that competition and win, ever since that period of time, everything in business has been easy. Because when people are talking about you, everything is easy. We can help you over the next few months. We can help you go from where you are to ridiculous heights of greatness. But you have got to decide that it's your time. And you've got to take the massive action that it requires to win, because I'm telling you, there's going to be some people just fighting tooth and nail to win this thing. But this $30,000, we're actually going to give you a big pile of $30,000 cash with, of course, huge security guards up at the front of the stage in front of 3,700 to 5,000 people, and you'll get the video and you'll be able to show people for the rest of your life. Now, of course, the second prize is $10,000 too, but don't even try for that. Just shoot for number one. Just shoot for number one. But if you get in late and you're so far ridiculously behind, well, then win something. And we'll talk about this in the video real briefly, but more so on the page you can see the prizes you can win. You at least want to win an iPod. Okay, everybody here could win an iPod. Now, here's a thing, and here's what I want you to pay attention to. You say, Dave, okay, how can I win? You say I can win. How can I win? Well, how did I win my competition? I focused on what I'm telling you to focus on. I outworked everybody. I focused on producing more personally than anybody else produced. That was it. right? Here's the specific thing that you need to focus on to win this competition. Here's the specific thing. If you notice, there's a massive bonus pool that happens, okay? Every time you bring in 2 new customers to the blog in a day, and you get 1 person to register for an event ticket. Now, this can happen several times in a day. So in other words, if you bring in 4 people as customers to the blog and you get 2 people to register for the event, then you get the bonus point twice. I don't actually know what the bonus points are, so look below it. I believe we set it at 100 points, okay? It's by far the greatest point level that you can achieve in our competition. And the way that we track the winners of the competition is the number 1 prize, of course, is the person who gets the most points. The number 2 prize is the person who gets the second amount of points, and so on and so forth. And if you focus on getting 2 people to sign up for the blog per day, 2 people per day, and get 1 of those people to register for the event, if you do that, you can get a bonus pool of 100 points per day every time that you do that. It is the easiest way to win the competition, but here's why I want you to focus on specifically doing this, and here's why we incentivize the competition like this, is because there's a couple of things that are going to make you the most money of anything that you could possibly do in Empower Network. Number 1 thing that you can do, the most important thing that you could do, the most urgent thing that you can do in your business is focus on getting 2 signups a day and being consistent about it for a very long period of time. Now, I'm not talking about recruiting 2 affiliates a day. If somebody wants to pay the affiliate fee, that's cool too. If somebody wants to go and they want to pay for the product, the Inner Circle membership, and get audio coaching for the rest of their life, that's okay too. But here's what I want you to focus on is 2 new customers per day of the blog and getting 1 person to register and to sign up for attending our event where we're going to teach people how to break through a new level and, of course, release their inner badass. Why is that the most important activity that you can do? Because if you get your team to this event, we have proven for the attempts that through the events that we put on Empower Network, and this is, by the way, proven for a long period of time in direct sales, that those people that bring the biggest teams to the events, have the most successful teams. They have the most people in their teams upgrade and decide to go all in. They have the most people in their teams thrive. They have the most people in their teams duplicate. And if you have the most successful team in Empower Network, you're going to have the biggest check. So the act of doing this, independent from winning the competition, is what is going to make you the most money anyways. There are people, I'll tell you, who have outproduced our top earners in Empower Network. And I'm going to tell you something else. Nobody has brought more people to the events than the top earners that we have at Empower Network. The top earners in Empower Network focus on getting as many people as they can to the events. What does Tony Rush do? Tony Rush last month, I'm making this video in November the 6th. It's election day in the United States of America, and I'm out here in Costa Rica. Of course, I don't even live in America. I am an American citizen, though I do pay tax in America, unfortunately, but I've got to, so I do. And, Tony Rush, he focuses on getting 2 people a day and getting his team to the events. He doesn't get a significant amount more than 2 people a day, but when he brings in 2 new customers per day at the $25 blogging product, he has people consistently upgrading, he has his team consistently duplicating, and then he tells his team, you had best be at the next event or he won't work with them, right? Because he does that, he has one of the biggest checks with one of the smallest levels of personal production. He just gets, check this out, Tony says, okay, Dave, you say you get 2 people a day, he gets 2 and he's like, okay, I'm done, right? I think the month he made $114,000, I believe that he brought in 74 people. That's it. But he focuses on 2 people a day and getting his team to the events. It is the most important 2 activities you can do at Empower Network because it's what we teach, and if you do it, your check will consistently increase over the period of the year, and we can help you work through any other issues that you've got if you focus on those 2 things. 2 signups a day and get your team to the next event. Now, let me explain how to utilize this and how to bring a team, and this is going to be my bonus training for the video. I'm going to try to keep this into 5 minutes if you could believe it or not, and who knows, we might even go 20 or 30 minutes. I have no idea. What I want to teach you to do is how to make your check go from small to big fast by focusing on this stuff, and I want to break down the mechanics of how to create a large check by utilizing the momentum, moving in and out of events, doing what we say to do, and I'm going to tell you why you should particularly be excited seeing this video about the event we're having in Austin, Texas, and some cool things that we're going to release. I'm going to talk about what happened in the last couple events too. Now, hopefully I'll keep that all in about 9 or 10 minutes. And so I need to delete this stuff off the whiteboard So let's first get into the income mechanics and how it works. Now, once again, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. I just like putting income disclosures all over the place because then there's no room for complaining, right? If you hear me say, hey, look, you can see this and this might not work like this for you, you know it's a hypothetical example and an illustration of what's possible in our compensation plan, not a guarantee of income. This stuff is going to take hard work and it's not going to work out exactly like the numbers I draw on the board. It could actually be more, might be less, and we can help fix it. If it's less, we can give you coaching if this is what you're doing. Is that okay? All right. So let's see our income disclosure below the video. I just want to put like one of those Nazi government voices in all my videos, just like, you know, the female annoying one. It's like, hello, you're in the airport. There's an income disclosure below the video. All right, so let me explain what to focus on. So what do you focus on? 2 new signups a day, okay? And get your team to the next event, which is in Austin, Texas. That's what you want to focus on. Now, what's the total amount of income that you could make per customer at Empower Network, right? We don't get paid for recruiting, we get paid for selling products, all right? And we've got 5 products. We have a $25 a month product, we have a $100 a month product, we have a one-time $500 product, a one-time $1,000 product, and we have a one-time $3,500 product. All of these top 4 products pay 100% commissions, okay? So all the revenue from these products is paid out. And this product down here, it pays a $3,000 commission, all right? So the total commission value per customer here is $4,500, $4,625 one time, and then $125 per month. So $4,625. Now, obviously, nobody's required to buy all these products, all right? Buying the products doesn't guarantee commissions of any kind, and so people can come in, they can buy which ones they want, they can buy the blog, and they could buy the $1,000 one and stop there, or they could buy all of them, or they could come in, they could buy everything. The total commission value for an all-in sale, that's what we call it, somebody who comes in Empower Network, they get over the line, they say, I'm going to be all in here, I'm going to buy all the products. Total commission value per customer is $4,625, okay, per customer. All right, so 10 customers who come all in, it's $46,000, right? Not bad, a little bit over, right? $46,000. Now, how can you make a tremendous amount of money? Well, what we have at Empower Network is very predictable upsell ratios, meaning if people come in for the 25, very predictable amount of people buy the next products and continue to buy all the way through the funnel. All right, so if you bring in 2 customers a day for the $25 membership, you're going to bring in, let's say, 14 customers in a week, and about a third of the customers that you bring in a week, we'll say 5, we'll say you bring in 15 customers a week to make it easy, about a third of those are going to upgrade to the inner circle at a minimum. Right now, I actually have a lot more. A lot of the leaders have a lot more, meaning these guys are going to pay $100 a month, and these guys are going to pay $25 a month. Now, we're going to have a very predictable amount of those people who buy the next products. It's usually going to be about 2 of the people will buy the $500 product, and out of those people, the next people, about half of those are going to buy the $1,000 product. Now, out of those, if you work with people, a majority of the people who buy the $1,000 product, you also get a $3,000 commission from it. It's going to end up being about 60-70%, but it's going to be over time because not everybody's going to be able to put that up and go through that course right away. All right, so in the course of a week, if you bring in about 15 people, and if you're working with people and doing what we teach, and if you're not doing what we teach, we can help fix it at the next event. Okay, this is an affiliate training here, folks. You can earn if you do this, 15 times 25. I can't even calculate this, so I think it's like, again, I'm awful. 325 bucks, we'll say, and I might be wrong on that because I'm not good at math. $500 here, okay, $1,000 here. $1,000 here and $3,000 here. All right, that's an amount that you could earn just by going through our process and bringing people into the Empower Network and just upselling people. If you really don't have a lot of duplication and if your team isn't really succeeding, without going into any of our other comp plan metrics or any of the other cool stuff that happens, I'm not describing the whole comp plan here, just describing what kind of happens from personal sales. Okay, it's a lot of money that you could bring in from bringing in relatively few people if you're willing to work with people and to do what we teach. However, here's where it starts getting really exciting. In Empower Network, we have leverage that's built in. If you watch the video on the comp plan tab, I'm going to redo that video. If it's the old one, I have inaccurate pricing in it, but it still describes the accurate comp plan that we have. Okay? If you watch that video, I explain some comp plan mechanics that start to play into effect when you start to have people succeed in your teams. All right? Now, people are going to succeed in your team for a variety of reasons. The biggest reason why your team is going to succeed is your team is going to start listening to us and focusing on getting 2 people a day and bringing their team to the events. they usually will not start to succeed at a massive level until they see you doing it for a long period of time. So in other words, what you're going to find when you're building a business here at Empower Network, when you're building any kind of organization like this, is that you need to produce consistently, personally, for a period of time and continue to have results 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 and keep saying the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. And if you keep doing the same thing and your check keeps increasing from doing the same thing, your team will begin to listen to you, and it'll take somewhere between 3 and 9 months of being very, 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 very consistent. Okay, that's what it takes. I remember when I first got online, I was the only person in my organization producing my results for a long time. However, what started to happen was I started to have some little people doing some, making some little checks, but then somewhere around month 6, the duplication kicked in. I got my first real leader and my check doubled. Okay, now at Empower Network, because of the mechanics of the way our affiliate compensation plan works, when you actually get a leader, which will happen if you're consistent over a long period of time and you keep having the same message and producing very consistently, eventually you'll have a leader pop up. Well, you can't keep sponsoring 2 people a day. That's 700 something customers a year that you're bringing into your organization, and you might be bringing in 300 affiliates out of that. You can't keep doing that without having the odds play in your favor. Eventually, statistically, you will have a leader emerge in your organization. However, this is important. You will find, if you bring people to our events, that those numbers dramatically accelerate. In other words, if you bring a group of 50 people to an event, okay, 50 people to an event is like 500 or 1,000 or 2,000 people that don't go to an event. The group that goes to the event will outproduce the people that don't by 10 times. So what I want you to do is understand that you have a very unique opportunity. If you can focus on getting to a day, you can focus on getting people to our event, and if you could get 2 people a day to buy the blog, get people to upgrade to be affiliates along the way, get people to upgrade to the Inner Circle product along the way, get people to upgrade to the Costa Rica Intensive product along the way, get people to upgrade to the Master's course along the way, but you can focus this whole group on going to the event. The biggest checks in Empower Network are created, period. I don't care what anybody says. I have the stats because I own the company. The biggest checks in Empower Network are created from the people who bring the biggest teams to the event. You want to not just go to the event, you want to bring the biggest team of anybody in Empower to the event. Well, simultaneously, that's how we built the competition. Because the event, your team is going to make a decision to go all in. At the event, people are going to make life-changing decisions to decide to focus on promoting our products. At the event, people are going to start believing our message, even if you haven't been doing it for 3 to 6 months, because I've been doing it for a long time and they'll listen to me, right? At the events, your team will have breakthroughs. So what we want to do is add some extra incentive for you to do what's already going to make you tons of money. To do what's already going to help you have breakthroughs. This is what creates a successful organization. So how do you get your people to the event? Well, here's what I would do. I'm just talking, okay? Now, not everybody, again, who joins Empower Network is going to want to be an affiliate and promote our stuff. Some people are just wanting to use the blog for a product to promote their other businesses, and people are welcome to do that. We've got thousands and thousands and thousands of customers here who are not promoting our stuff, folks. They're just using our products, okay? However, what you want to do is you want to focus your attention and energy into the leverage points in your organization. The leverage points in your organization, of course, are the people who are paying the affiliate fee and who are out there and they're making a mess promoting their business. That is the leverage points within the organization in Empower Network, folks, that are the people who are the active affiliates. Because one affiliate is going to they're going to be the equivalent of like 100 customers in your organization. All right? So what I would do is I would talk to your affiliates. I would send emails. We have a team emailer in the member site. And I would just send them messages and say, hey, look, guys, I want to tell you something. And I'm serious about it. I am not going to personally work with anybody who does not go to the events. And I'm telling you guys, just as a personal thing, as a leader to leader, if you're watching this video, you're a leader or you want to be, right? I will not, under any circumstances, spend any personal time, period. And I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're a bigwig. I will not spend any personal time, period, with anybody who does not go to our events. I will spend 0 time with them. Here's why I won't spend time with them. And let me explain this because it's a good psychology for you having your teams, right? Guys, if I have 5,000 people going to an event who are in, they've made the commitment to be in Austin. They've made the commitment to be there. We don't do live streams of our events. It's attend or you miss out, right? If I have 5,000 people who've committed to be in the room, and then I have 55,000 people, okay, that are not in the room. Okay, so we have actually about 15% of our active member base who goes to events. But if I have 5,000 people there, and I have 55,000 people that aren't there, who do you think I'm going to spend time with? Right? The people that are there. Now, if I have two groups that come there, one group brings 50 people to the event, and the other group, they just attend by themselves. Who do you think I'm going to spend the majority of my time with? It's the leverage points. As a leader in your organization, here's a great way to manage your time. You create the rules that other people have to follow to get in your inner circle. See, we got a product here called the Inner Circle at Empower Network, and it's really a brilliant name because it represents a really strong human desire to be in an inner circle of people that really got the secrets. And let me tell you, you want to have your own inner circle, your own personal space that people have to abide by your rules to work their way into your space. And if they don't abide by the rules, they can't get in there. You say, Dave, I want to help everybody. Well, great. You can be on the phone all day and night and not make any money. The reality is, in this industry, you've got to guard and protect your inner circle with rules. Now, I create rules to get into my inner circle, all right, and we talk about them all the time, and if people work within those rules, they get into our inner circle. And what does the inner circle mean? Well, the inner circle is where the players play. The inner circle is where the money makers are. The inner circle is where the people are who are making the checks, right? Well, we create the rules of people who really get into the inner circle. I'm not talking about the product. This product is a part of the inner circle, but I'm talking about the real inner circle. I'm talking about the inner circle of contacts of the people that move mountains in this industry, right? Well, we create the rules. Now, what are my rules to get into my inner circle? I'm going to suggest you create your own rules, and you tell people about the rules. You make videos about the rules, and you continue to produce and email them to your team. Because if people have to fight to get around you, your team is going to be more successful. You're going to be helping them by working with them less and by only focusing on the leaders. So let me explain the rules for my inner circle, and maybe you guys could do something similar. You don't have to listen. This is just a friendly piece of advice of stuff that's worked really well for me. Well, my rules is this. I won't work with personally. I'll spend no personal time whatsoever with somebody that's not all in. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to help them through the systems, through the conference calls, through videos like this, through tools, through audios, through all the stuff that we've got in place for people, okay? But as far as personal time, as far as my inner circle, I will not work with somebody who's not all in. What it means, they need to buy all the products. Now, I might make some exceptions occasionally for somebody that literally doesn't have resources. They don't have resources. They can't buy all the products. They can't buy them all, right? And I'll make an exception for a very short amount of time, very occasionally for those people until they enable to come up with the resources. But very rare, because most people can come up with money to buy all the products if they try. It's very rare that I'll do that. Well, first thing, they just got to be all in. They got to buy all the products. They got to be all in. Now, we don't require people as a company to buy all the products, but as far as my personal time, right? If I've got 3,000 people I've sponsored, and I've only got 400 people that have bought all the products, okay? Who am I going to spend time with? The people that have bought all the products. Does that make sense? Okay? You want to guard your inner circle from people that are all in. Well, this first step to doing that is you got to be all in, because you can't ask somebody to do something that you don't do. See, I have no compunction about asking somebody to be all in, because I've spent $2 million building the infrastructure on the company. So if I've spent $2 million and the price tag of those products is $4,625, I have no compunction. I'll just tell people get all in, right? Somebody's paying $125 a month and one person's not. Who am I going to work with? The person who's spending $125 a month on the products. For me, I'll spend personal time with the people that are all in. First rule. Second rule that I have in my personal space, this is, folks, I'm talking about guarding my inner circle like a hawk, because there's so many people that want to be inside the space, right? And it's not critical. It's understanding that as a leader, you've got to work with your leverage points. You don't have an infinite amount of time. So you got to guard who you work with. Now, here's the second rule. They must go to the events. Now, let me ask you a question. If I had the choice and I had two people, one group is all in, but the other group, they're all in and they go to all the events. Who am I going to spend the time with? Right? Who am I going to spend the time with? I'm going to spend the time with the people that are all in and going to the events. Obviously. right? I mean, this stuff really makes a lot of sense when you think about it. When you think about, not if you're thinking about, being Mother Teresa and helping the world, that's different, folks. We're not a charity. This is a business organization where the goal of your business is to create money and lifestyle at the same time. It means you can't be everything to everybody. It means you can't do everything. It means you can't be on every phone call. It means you really don't have time for stuff like three-way calls. You've got to guard your time because you want to protect your lifestyle, right? So where do you work? You work with your leverage points. What's a leverage point? A leverage point is a person, an entity in your business that produces large amounts of income for you. And the people that do that, I could look at the stats and show you guys sometime if you like. They're the people that are all in. They're the people that go to the events. Now, here is where I really spend my time. And this is the real requirement to be in my inner circle. Here's the real requirement to be in my inner circle. I'm just talking about my inner circle. I'm talking about you guys want to be around my inner circle, right, which is the top leaders here and in the whole industry. My inner circle is the top earners in the whole online marketing industry. I know everybody, right? And I'll tell you, my inner circle is protected by people that are all in, people that go to events. Now, here's the big one, though. By people that do those two things, and they build the biggest team to the events. The biggest event, the biggest teams. The people who are doing what we teach and following our steps and also repeating our steps. Because I realized something a long time ago. I realized there's lots of ways to doing it. We could build this business by being a maverick and a nomad, and we're all a little bit mavericks here at Empower Network, but the reality is, folks, okay, is the greatest success stories are going to be created from the most unified teams. And the way to create a unified team is to speak the same message all the time. So I focus all my attention on the people that are all in, go to the events, and bring the biggest teams to the events. Doesn't that just make good sense? That's how I focus my attention. Now, here's the beautiful thing. Now, these people who just go all in and go to the events, I'm going to tell you something. I spend a little time with them, right? But it's going to be limited if they're not doing what we say. Right? I'm going to spend the time and just kind of hang out with them and kind of guide and direct them if they ask and not if they don't ask, right? But the people who bring teams to the events, I'm telling you something, these are the people that are doing what we teach to do. These are the people that we're going to give the most exposure to. These are the people that we're going to talk about the most. These are the people that we're going to plaster all over the front of the blog. These are the people that we're going to help get to the next level, right? Let me ask you a question. You think if Lawrence Tam calls me, he gets a call back? Oh, yeah. I don't return too many calls. Right? But he calls me, he gets a call back. You think if Tony Rush calls me, he gets a call back? Yeah. Right? And I'm not a phone guy. Right? Now, I don't even have a phone. He has to call my Skype. But still, you think if he messages me, I'm going to message him back? Yeah. Right? You think if Tracy Walker messages me, I message her back and I talk to her? Oh, yeah. Right? Same with all the leaders. Here's what this does for you. Number one, it eliminates you having to be everything for everybody. See, most people let their team set the rules for how they spend their time. And as a result, they're constantly burnt out on the phone all the time. I saw a guy post a message, a well-known leader in the network marketing space, post a message on his Facebook wall, and he says, if you're not talking to people 30 and 40 and 50 levels down in your team, you don't care about them. And I said, God, man, this guy must be on the phone all day and night. And he is, right? Well, I don't want to live like that, right? Neither do you. Neither do your leaders. So what's the alternative? You set the rules for how to get into your space. You set the rules. You determine your destiny. You set it the way that it is, right? And then people have to fight to get into your inner circle. Now, here's the cool thing. When you do it like this, people will work hard to be around you. They'll work hard to be around you because you're like the mysterious guy that's never available quite enough, you know? Ladies who are watching this video, you know how it is. I mean, I've been married for 5 years. My wife's gorgeous. I mean, gosh, she still gets hit on 10 times a day. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way that gorgeous women live life is 5 to 10 men per day, if they're in public places, come up and they hit on them, right? I mean, you know how it is, right? So ladies who are watching this, especially the ladies that have dealt with a lot of men hitting on you, you know what I mean, right? Who are you more attracted to? The guy that's a little unavailable or the guy that's there all the time for everybody, right? They're all the time. They're just waiting for your phone call all the time. They're just waiting for your message. Are you a little more attracted to the guy that's got a little bit of mystery and is a little detached? Oh yeah, people fight their way into your inner circle, but you set the rules. You set the rules to get into your inner circle. You create the rules. You create the structure. You create the demands to get into your inner circle. And all you got to do is make one of these rules. You tell people, look, you say, hey, look, this ain't about buying event tickets. I'm going to tell you guys straight up, there ain't no cheating in this contest. We'll make sure of it, right? Okay? This ain't about just buying mass tickets and stuff like this. You know what this is about, folks? This is about you creating the rules for people to get around you. So what you'd say in your videos, you say, look, I will not spend any time with you, period, because I'm busy, if you don't go to the event. Right? And here's what it does, is it shortens the amount of time that you have to work your business and dramatically expands your influence, and people will listen and they'll go just to meet you. Tell people to go. So I won't work with anybody that won't go to the events. So if you ain't bought your event tickets, here's what I want you to do. I want you to log into your Empower Network back office, a little button that says, are you ready to release your badass? Hit that button and buy your tickets to the next event. Something like 97 or 147 or 200 bucks or something. I don't know what it is making this video because I haven't checked in a while. Whatever it is, it's worth it and more. We are going to blow the lid off of this industry at that event. We're releasing some very cool stuff in Austin. Okay. And if you ain't all in, here's what I'm encouraging you to do. Log into the Empower Network, buy the next product. Just do it. Just buy the next product. Why? Because you need the next one, whatever it is. Just buy the next one. And I encourage you to buy all of them. Right? That's it, folks. That's the formula for success. If you do this, this is the beauty. Last thing. I say focus on getting 2 a day. Right? Here's the beauty. If you don't have to get on the phone with everybody because you guard your inner circle like a hawk or like a dog guards a bone, you know, or like a mother hen protects its young, or a bear or whatever. Think of it in an analogy of somebody being protective, and you guard your inner circle like that, and you say, hey, look, you can come in, you can get on the conference calls, but if you want to work your way into the inner circle, here's what you got to do. You've got to be at the next event and log in and buy your tickets now. Until I see that you bought a ticket, I ain't talking to you again. I'm just telling you, I'm serious about this, and I will only work with people that are going to succeed. And I'm just telling you, you guys are not going to have the massive level of success you want if you don't attend the events. Period. Right? So you got to guard the inner circle. Guard your friendships with that. And then you know what will happen? All of a sudden your whole time frees up because you don't have to help everybody anymore. You know what happens when your time frees? This is the beautiful part. This is the part that's magical. This is the part where you create breakthroughs. This is how you get to the next level. Is because your time opens back up. And you've got a choice. Your choice is go to the beach, do what you want to do all day, or you can put more time into expanding your personal production. And when you lead by example, more people follow. So Rob over there, he says, you know, Tony Rush, I really want some personal time. And Tony says, you know, Rob, I'd love to give it to you, but I see you ain't bought an event ticket yet. Well, no, I'm not going to the event. Tony says, okay, I can't work with you unless you do. Hangs up, right? Tony goes out and he just starts bringing in more people. Why? To replace Rob. Now, I'm not actually talking about anybody in particular because Tony probably got 5 Robs in his team. So if you're Rob and sponsored by Tony, don't think I'm talking about you. I don't even know who you are, right? I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying he focuses on production. Now, all of a sudden, what happens is Rob says, holy smokes, he's serious. If I'm not going to be at the events, he's not going to work with me. So all of a sudden, Rob goes in because he wants to be in the inner circle. He buys a ticket and goes to the events, right? And works to get a team there so he can fight to be around Tony. It's the difference between a leader and a cheerleader, folks. You set the rules to get around you. You set the rules to get around you. Beautiful way to live. That's my bonus video for you guys. If you guys do this, I can show you at the next event how to go from nothing to $100,000 a month. Okay? Keeping in mind that ain't no income guarantee. It's just I'll show you a formula that's worked well for me and worked well for other people. Now, guys, get to the next event. Be there. Okay? And I'll see you at the beaches of the world. Hope this video was helpful to you. Let's lock arms. Let's fight the forces of evil. Contest details are below with the prizes and qualifications and rules and stuff like that. Love you guys. Appreciate you. And I'll see you at the top. Bye-bye.